Welcome to the Nest post-game show. After a big 78-20 win, Albany sending a message to the rest of AF1 tonight. And with us right now, the offensive star of the game, four touchdown Duane Brown. That rhymes. We like it. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it, and a hell of a performance tonight. Tell me about your night, and just being able to have that connection with Sam all night from the first moment.
First off, thank you for having me. Shoot, we had plenty of time to, find that connection with our first game, getting pushed back, having that first week bye. And then Coach Ware, a lot goes to him as well for putting us in position, drawing up those plays. But, Sam, obviously he's just a great quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt.
Can throw that ball. And he trusts us like we trust him. So, he puts that thing up there. Our job's to go get it. So, there's a big part of that. But, it's not easy when you play with high competition players. Your competition must rise. So, from day one in camp, it wasn't hard, finding that connection. We kind of just went off of each other. So,
first couple touchdowns, on that crossing route, that's, that timing route, just again, first game, talk about getting that timing. That's not something that you immediately come up with in camp. That's something that, it's just that repetition. Talk about, that connection, on those kind of plays where you're going across the field like that.
Like you said, it takes reps. So, we had a lot of time to get that stuff together. Watch a lot of film, talk about it. And like I said, when you do it a lot in practice, especially going against the defense we have, who, in my opinion, is the best defense in this league.
Played fantastic tonight. It was impressive.
So, when you go against them all those weeks in practice, you come into the game, it just flows. It's kind of easy. But, like I said, Sam, he's going to put the ball exactly where it needs to be. My job is to go catch it.
Well, on one of those, the third of the four touchdowns, 45 yards, I think that was just a go route and go get it. And you did between two defenders, maybe the best touchdown of the four. Just talk about that play, just that, running that 9 and just be getting it.
Just be my guy across face. And, he had to make a move out of the pocket. But as soon as I seen him put it up, I knew it was me or that guy. And Coach Ware is always talking about got to be 80-20. We need 80% of those deep balls. So, I just went up, did my part. Ball was where it needed to be. That was that.
You got a little bit of a, Henry scores the first points, and we're going to talk to him hopefully at some point. The first points for AF1 history for the Albany Firebirds. They go back and score. You knew, coming in that Jalen Morton was going to be a good quarterback, and you guys scored 48 in a row unanswered. When you're obviously part of that offense, but then, watching the defense do their thing, getting a couple of pick sixes, and the team starts rolling, what do you think when you watch these guys, just everybody at the top of their game rolling?
It's just high executed football, and coming into this game, that's exactly what we knew we needed to do. We knew coming into this game, they had 2 games under their belt. We kind of had that long stretch where we weren't playing. We wanted to make a statement. That's exactly what this game was, a statement game. So, yes, we're going to put this behind us after tonight and move on to Nashville, but you can see what we can do when we're all executing. And I'm just ready for the next game already.
No, I can imagine because watching the game, it felt like you had an absolute plan. Obviously, you're gonna watch the film, and even in game, I'm sure like, oh man, we should have maybe done this or that a little bit better. But I really feel like you kind of like laid the baseline tonight.
Right.
I think offensively, you can get a heck of a lot better.
Oh.
I'm sure Coach Ware has a much deeper playbook what you ran tonight. Don't need to get into the details, but I would imagine you only still ran a handful of plays in the end.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah, that was one thing. Like he as long as we can execute what was called, we don't need to bring out a bunch of stuff. And
that makes it long-term success for the season that much easier.
And that's the thing too. There's so much to clean up. Like that's why I say it's gonna be our potential is through the roof. So like once we do, we'll take this game. We'll clean up what needs to be cleaned up, and we'll just keep moving on, keep cleaning up until we can execute at our highest. And I feel like any team that gets that is they're in trouble because our ceiling is
I agree
through the roof.
Sam has been in some quarters like who's going to be some of the best players in, and he's definitely one of them. 7 touchdowns tonight, and obviously Arena is a league where you're throwing a lot of touchdowns, but 7. being able to find you, 4 times and finding those guys. Just talk about him and getting that rhythm, especially game one.
It was awesome. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've never played in the MVP arena. Last year they
Right.
came to Billings.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I had them little nerves, with running out and stuff, all that type of stuff. They do it different over here, but playing with guys like that, they kind of they comfort, like, you feel me. They make you a little comfortable, ease your nerves a little bit, and hey, just go play your game, be who you are. So having somebody on the team as a leader, as a captain, it's comforting, and especially with the guys around me, Zay, Scott, Derek, DT, Wade. I mean, we can all go, and
Mhm.
obviously you seen that tonight. Everybody got in the end zone. I mean, you rise with the players around you, especially when it's high level.
Obviously being in Billings, one of the top franchises here with last year, and then now coming to Albany. Talk about the fans tonight. I don't know exact count or anything like that, but definitely a couple thousand people. Super loud, really, behind you guys. And obviously, it's nice when you're winning, but that's the kind of thing. Talk about that atmosphere. For the first time playing an MVP arena.
Flock, they're different. It's different up here from the adopt a player thing, which is awesome. Like, I've never seen any fans do that or be so, involved with their players. So first I want to start with that and thank everybody who's a part of that. But it's electrifying, honestly. Like I said, running out into the tunnel, seeing everybody just go crazy from start to finish. Like, there's no they're whooping them. Let's just die down. People start leaving. It's start to finish here, and I love that. They're so involved, and that's something you want to play for.
Of course. Duane, we appreciate it. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Our first
Thank you.
post game show.
Yes, sir.
If you keep doing that, you're going to be on many post game shows.
I
But
hope to
we
be.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Enjoy the night, man. Get ready for the next one, and let's keep building.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We are here at MVP Arena after the Albany Firebirds sent a message to the league with a 78-20 victory over Southwest Kansas here tonight on Friday night. We are here to do some of the recaps and talk about the plays, the people, what happened, and get us set up for the rest of the week, second game week. Chris Epperly, my co-host here. What do you think about the outcome tonight?
I think Albany has a really good football team.
I do too.
That's the simplest way to put it. I was really impressed with the defense right out of the gate. They were pretty intense. I mean, that was a pretty physical football game right from the beginning. I don't think Southwest Kansas experienced that up to this point. So yeah, I think defensively it was a heck of a performance, and I guess I'll kind of let you go through the stats, so to speak, and kind of run through the sort of things that went on tonight.
All right, yeah. So Sam Castronova, quarterback extraordinaire, with 7 touchdowns, and then Duane Brown with 4 touchdown catches, and we'll get into the nitty gritty of that. But to start the game, the first points in AF1 history for the Albany Firebirds, Henry Nell, the kicker, had a deuce right off the bat.
Yep.
And we talked to him a couple of weeks ago, and he, kind of talked about being able to change the game with the ability to score points on a kickoff. And he did that a couple times tonight. And it really, obviously, first off, it changed the momentum later in the game when he got it. But in the first one where he's able to, right away 2-0. Just talk about, Henry tonight, and he went 8 for 11 on PATs. And had those 2 deuces as well. So talk about, Henry a little bit, just getting the game off to a good start.
Well, I think for him, he's going to feel good about that first strike of the ball. He was able to put his team, on the board right away. That was his first kick in that uniform. And by the way, let's talk about those uniforms. They look pretty good too. So
they do. They look fire.
Yeah,
as the kids say, it's fire.
Yeah. He's got some drip. So, but yeah, no, he listen. He had a really good game. I'm sure he's going to go back and feel like he could do some things better. But in the end of the day, I mean, getting on the board right out of the gate is pretty special. I mean, I don't know how many times it's happened. I don't have any way to really know that, but to me, it was certainly it set the tone for sure.
Getting off to a 2-0 lead was really important because Southwest Kansas actually had their best drive maybe of the night. Maybe the second best was the first drive of the game. Jalen Morin, who led the AFL after 2 weeks for passing, scored right away. He's extremely elusive, and the Albany defense did a great job of corralling him and slowing him down. but was able to score. Just talk about watching him. I mean, we saw him on film. He looked like one of the top guys maybe in the league at quarterback. He's one of our top guys. We kind of shut him out tonight here a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think early on they kind of bit a little bit hard on some of the read option stuff. He scored his long touchdown on that, but then after that, I mean, he didn't really seem to have anywhere to go with the ball. Up front, they played really, really well. I would say that his receivers a few times kind of let him down.
There were a few drops. Yeah, there were definitely a few drops.
But in the end, I think the pressure was too much for them. They didn't really know what they're getting into because obviously Albany hadn't played yet. So, realistically, I think overall it was a really, really well played game, and I know they're going to go back and say, yeah, we could have done this better than that better. So, it's always good to set down that as your baseline.
Right.
And then build from there, a 58-point win.
Yeah, it's 78 points, tied the same amount of points that Billings scored in week one as well. So they kind of, set that tone.
Yeah.
And then after Morton scored, made it 7-2 Southwest Kansas. And that was it for them for scoring for a while, as Albany scored 48 straight points. Duane Brown had the first of his 4 touchdowns. And then Darian Thompson had one. Duane had another one. Then Isaiah Scott scored to make it 28-7. Then Sam ran in for a short touchdown to make it 35-7.
Yep.
Which was the score at halftime. And then coming out of half, Albany got the ball because they deferred. Thompson scored again.
Yep.
Another the deuce from Henry, make it go from 42 to 44-7. And then and again, not that the game was super close anyway, but then really a dagger. Trey Wortham with a 45-yard pick six off of Morton to make it 50-7 and really put it just completely out of reach. This team, watching them, they have the ability to do that. They can, put an opponent away. And I think we saw that obviously tonight, and I think they can continue that. What did you think about that? When you hear they scored 48 in a row, in a leaner league where it's, very back and forth usually, to be able to have that, it's got to be impressive to watch.
Really, it starts with special teams and defense.
Mm-hmm.
Special teams was phenomenal tonight. We talked about, I forget what show it was. We talked about that Coach Ware and Henry Nell was going to have a game plan for the dynamic returner. He didn't do anything tonight.
No, that was one of the guys, the Brown, Bailey Brown. I know I'm getting the name wrong off the top of my head, but
I'm not sure.
But the returner, he had a couple of great weeks leading up to tonight, and he'd kick it, and even if he wasn't kicking it through the center, which obviously he did twice, he's kicking it off the net, high off the net, and they're having to wait for it to come down. It's bouncing all over the place, and I think they got tackled in the end zone a couple times. Here in Arena, AF1 it counts as just a touchback. But to have them starting on their 5-yard line every time, or just about every time on their 5-yard line or 10-yard line, that changes field position. That can change the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, they really, after that first touchdown, there wasn't much going on for them. Like you said, because I don't know how many times they end up being inside the 5. They also had a few penalties here or there, but I mean, the read option was probably their best play most of the night, but you can't win an arena football game with read option success, honestly. Yeah,
that's definitely a difference between even the IFL or the outdoor game. That play, because the field is so thin, it doesn't always work. You don't have that full outside to really run through. So then 50-7 after Wortham's pick six. Morton scored again to make it 50-14. They kept playing hard. I mean, that they didn't just quit, they didn't die. They kept going. But then immediately after that, Brown caught his 3rd touchdown, 45-yard long pass play. Sam kind of scrambling, getting out of the pocket, and then just a dart to Brown around 2 defenders. That was probably his best touchdown of the 4. Tell me what you thought about that play and just kind of hey, they got a little momentum, but let's take it right back.
Well, this is going to be somewhat of an unexpected answer, but how well the ball traveled tonight.
From
the quarterback's hand.
Yes.
From both teams. It was nice to see a ball actually do what it's supposed to do.
Right, and that's part of the reason why they have a new ball and they have this set up that way. And I'm sure if we talk to Sam and and Jalen Morin on the other side, I'm sure they both would be pleased with how the ball was.
Yes, but I know that was an unexpected answer, but that's the first thing I noticed just in pregame is how much better that ball flew through the air, and I mean, even in warm up, Sam was extremely. Actually, both quarterbacks were very accurate in warm ups with that deep ball. So, yeah, that's kind of my takeaway. But Duane Brown, man, what addition he's been.
Coming from Billings.
Yeah, and let's not forget about what Darian Townsend did tonight.
Yes, a couple of touchdowns for him as well. Just that threat, and just another threat. They've got so many threats to if it's a short pass to make something happen, make a guy miss. They can do the deep ball, run a 50-yard, coast to coast, and do that. So yeah, absolutely. So at that point, it was after Duane's third touchdown. It was 57-14. And then Marcus Smith, the captain, a 50-yard pick six.
Yeah.
Jumped a route and took off down the sideline, broke a tackle about midfield, and then that was it. Just talk about Marcus's impact as a leader on this team. You got your captains with Sam, Ezekiel Rose, Darian Townsend, and him. Just talk about that impact. An impact player making an impact play.
I mean, I'm sure if you were to ask him, that play was able to be made because of his teammates.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of that tonight. I saw a lot of sound fundamental football where people were actually, were where they're supposed to be. As a result, the quarterback had to do something, and in no way am I taking that away from him. But he made a great play. But the reality of it is, he went here, back over here, then threw it over here, and then was going the other way. So that's really what defense is all about.
And then to finish it off, I don't want to forget anybody. Markel Wade with his first touchdown of the year.
Yep.
And then Brown with his fourth to finish it off from Robert Hoy Jr. They took out Sam and they put Robert in.
He played well.
I didn't even notice at first. I'm like, oh wait, new quarterback, and so you can tell they're both right on. So 78-20 final. I got a couple real quick thoughts about some of the stuff that I saw. Just kind of all over the place. Especially in the beginning, with kind of the way we set up and everything. And Henry Nall from South Africa comes out with the South Africa flag. I thought that was amazing. He talked about it, when we interviewed him a couple of weeks ago, about the support when they get the thing, and they, it's all people up here and then a bunch of South Africa for people that are watching. Just talk about him and just kind of showing that pride and showing people here, what he's about.
Honestly, it's amazing to me how somebody could be so far away from home, just execute and do his job and be a good teammate. Like, to me, it's super impressive. I mean, obviously we were here tonight doing some video, doing some photo stuff. Very much looking forward to sharing with him his intro with the flag. Should be great. But again, a great presentation by the Albany Firebirds. They kind of showed why they are the standard. Really great game. Looking forward to seeing them play Nashville next week. And, it's a quick turn. Well, it's not really a quick turnaround, but in terms of leaving Albany, it kind of will be. So we're looking forward to that. And
I wanted to bring up one more thing that I saw. And we talk about, and these guys talk about, and Duane even talked about it, just a little bit ago on the other side, the family aspect. And Sam Castanova comes out with his son or his child. I'm sorry, because his child. It's not just, it's one thing to just, oh yeah, it's family, but like to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of, to me, that showed like a lot of what the Firebirds and this organization is about.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, Sam's dad was here tonight. I talked to him a little bit. It's 3 generations of Casanovas in the building tonight. It's special to see. I mean, anytime that a father supports a son, and then
the next generation.
Yeah, it's a special thing, and again, it's a special place, and a special team has put up 78 points. So.
Absolutely. So next week they're going to play Nashville, and we'll be ready for that. We'll watch it on Evergreen now, and we are coming to you still from the VIP lounge, presented by Saratoga Eagle with Real American Beer, official beer of AF1. So pick up your Hulk Hogan beer, brother. But the Firebirds have been great hosts to us and allowing us to do our thing here, and be able to cover this team. And I think that, after tonight, I can't wait to see what happens next. But for Chris Ipperly, my name is Adam Samarov, and we will see you on Monday.